weather has come a good deal of rain, but the good news is over the next couple of days things will gradually settle down. The rain becomes lighter and more patchy, the winds ease down, but it could well turn colder come the middle of the week. For today, though, we've got low pressure firmly in charge. You can tell that by the swirl of cloud here, and it's all centred around the low, which is sitting right over southern Scotland. And it's not really moving too far in the next couple of days. Fairly tightly packed isobars around the centre of that low, so the strongest winds to the north and the west. Certainly wet and windy across the Northern Isles this afternoon, but much of mainland Scotland essentially dry, if rather cloudy. A few holes in that cloud towards the east of the Pennines this afternoon, but the best of the dry, bright weather this afternoon will be anywhere really from Essex through the London area and along the M4 corridor. There have been a few heavy showers across Sussex and Kent so far today, but those should be easing away, and many southern counties of England should have a dry, bright afternoon. However, the showers in the southwest, they'll keep going on into the evening, and it looks pretty showery too around the shores of the Bristol Channel, up across much of Wales into the northwest of England. Showers too into Northern Ireland, and a bit of a breeze here as well. As we go through the evening, we'll keep some of those showers going across many of these western areas, but inland areas, I suspect, dry for the most part. We'll see some patches of mist and fog forming for central and eastern parts of England, more particularly, I think, through the central lowlands of Scotland, and here is where we'll see the lowest of the temperatures. Certainly cold enough for a touch of frost through central Scotland, maybe not so elsewhere. Now that low is still with us on Monday. It hasn't really moved too far, still centred just there in the North Sea, and it's still pretty windy around the peripheries of that low. Now it will still be pretty windy across the Northern Isles of Scotland. The winds in the Western Isles still pretty windy, and quite windy too for Northern Islands. And it's also in these windier areas where we're going to see the wettest of the weather. So another wet, windy day for Orkney and Shetland, and showers too filtering down into the Irish Sea. You'll notice that fog really rather slow to clear from central Scotland. Elsewhere across England and Wales, yes, there'll be some showers around, particularly on western coast, but many inland areas should stay dry. Come Tuesday, well, that low is still with us, hasn't really moved too far again, still there in the North Sea. A little weather front just creeping its way across the top of that low will spread its way into eastern parts of the UK. We're also going to begin to change that wind direction on Tuesday, beginning to pick up a colder easterly breeze coming in from Scandinavia. So we'll begin to see those temperatures dropping. We'll also see some pretty wet weather in the north and the east, so cool and wet here. But you'll notice that wet weather doesn't get across towards western Scotland, some dry, bright weather here, and much of England and Wales away from the northeast stays dry, if rather cloudy. Now Wednesday looks like a fairly quiet day. We've got very light winds across the UK, and we've got weather fronts either side of us. The weather fronts won't be bothering us. It'll be a very settled day for the most part. Just one or two showers trying to get into those eastern coasts of both Scotland and England, but the further west you are, it should be drier and brighter, but it will turn colder on Wednesday. Temperatures in the north just 3 degrees, maybe 6s and 7s at further south. It'll be a foggy start to Thursday, but I think for the most part we are looking at a dry, bright day. Just one or two showers over northern Scotland, maybe still a little bit of snow over the hills. 7 or 8 your top temperature on Thursday. By Friday, well, it's a north-south split. We've got some wetter, windier weather in the north, drier and